Welcome to Profile Traders. This is Reza and you're listening to our market analysis for Wednesday the 10th. Since the last recap where I warned you that this whole masquerade of the upside was becoming so ridiculous that it would become extremely difficult to carry it on the upside further. And I told you from several days ago that what we were going to see, it was another run to the high, make a marginal high, and then I told you once we are going to do that, once we break 2050, the game is over. And you know what is so funny? What is so funny is that history repeats itself on and on and on. And people are so stupid, people are so dumb that they fail to even realize something that they experienced or already happened not long ago. So let's look at very briefly at the psychology of things here. All on this run, that volume wasn't there, the news is terrible. As it would go up and up, people on TV, they were already cheering for Dow 20,000. People on TV telling you how the Fed is your friend. People on TV telling you how now the stimulus from Draghi and the stimulus from Japan is going to come in and help. People were telling you that now this time around is different, that if you really want to expect higher return on your money, you have to go into the market, like if the market is an ATM machine or a bank note where they're gonna sign you that, yeah, please come into the market and for sure we're gonna give you a higher return. The same garbage stupidity that you hear in every single cycle. And then all of a sudden, the whole thing burst into flame. Oh, everybody is like shocked. How? Why? Why is this time again market has abused itself so that it is dropping? It's so silly, it's so stupid that makes me want to laugh. But I just wanted to pinpoint it to you that don't be fooled that this whole house of cards that we saw on no volume, just program trading garbage, will be demolished. And when it's demolished, please don't be surprised, because they all get demolished. There is no such a thing as just going up and up and up and up forever. And the more parabolic it is, the more destructive is the collapse. So that's where we are in the big picture. In the small picture, it's even more comic. It's even more comic how criminal the activities has reached. So let's check here. On Thursday, on 2 nights ago, China had a meltdown. The futures came down, closed at the very, very low. Then market opened, made a new low, hesitated a whole bunch down here. There was absolutely no reason at all for buying it. But suddenly, late in the afternoon or around 2 o'clock-ish, a scumbag or whatever clock-ish, a scumbag computer buy comes in, and he knows exactly that because these shorts from the overnight are nervous, not seeing follow through, all they have to do is to push it a little bit higher, and then they will start a massive short covering from these nervous overnight sellers. Sure enough, for no reason whatsoever, what was the overnight low ended up being the close of the day session high. Now, today, we come in, there was obviously no demand in the overnight for this junk. So, we open and then we collapse. Right off the open. No demand above the open whatsoever. Then we go rotational. Now this time, on the contrary of yesterday, a program kicks in, and as they bought like animals yesterday and closed it at yesterday's high, today they do the reverse. They broke it out of this consolidation in the afternoon and managed to close it where? At the extreme low of today. If this is not criminal market manipulation, then I don't know what it is. And I really hope so. And I really hope so that one of these days this goddamn government will do something about these guys, because it is really a damn darn joke. So we are not definitely on a meltdown position. We made a new high. It couldn't go. We got close to 2100. They couldn't hit it. We did trap the dumb buyers and late buyers on that new high we made. Now they are trapped. And on the top of that, we did break below 2050, which was my benchmark for this market to start to melt down. So now pullbacks are without a doubt sells. First area of big resistance 2035 to 2040. If we reject back into 2040, then we are going to go 2050, which at no point at all I expect that we are going to break back into it. On the downside, right now I have nothing before 2000. And if the 2000 breaks down, I have nothing before 1960 to 1950. And I believe that this is where we are heading, 1950 to 1960. Now let's look at crude. The war is definitely on. We did now reach $60. And as I mentioned on the previous report, it has nothing to do with supply. It has nothing to do with demand. It is now like we were in 2007 and 2008 in a crash mode. And when you are in a crash mode, the lower it goes, the more dynamic it becomes, because the more forced liquidation market brings in. So what you are expecting, all of a sudden a big seller comes in. There is no big seller coming in. Nobody has eaten donkey brain to be a big seller of crude at $60. These are forced business. These are funds that are going out of business, speculators getting margin calls, late sellers jumping in. But I bet you my life that downside from here below $60, it is going to be very, very, very limited. It is going to be short-lived. And I do see a 5 to 6 point rally into the price of crude coming in. What will trigger it, how it will be triggered, why it will be triggered, I do not know. But all I know is that the same way that we abuse the market on the upside, the same way this is now starting to get abused on the downside. Based on hot air, based on speculators, based on the garbage that goes on with the algos, etc., etc. Enough is enough, okay? Enough is enough. This chart has very, very limited downside potential from here on. Therefore, I am not any longer at all seller or bear with the crude. And I am starting to become extremely bullish for a $4 to $5 rally off of here. It's very, very cheap. And watch Putin and watch the mullahs. That's all I can tell you. Gold, it is holding very bullishly, even though that it was a bit of a surprise that today, despite the meltdown of ES, it didn't go up. But from this beat up, one-legged, one-eyed, one-ear, injured, whatever you want to call it, we cannot expect miracle either. Because when an instrument is so much beat up, it will take a whole while before building a gathering around it again, so that people would gain confidence, so that people would see that the gains hold, that there is confidence building, then they come in. But for now, it is done a good job. It is done a good job. Very nice push up, which consolidated without getting damaged. Volume shrinked on the way down. Big push up on the exit. Very nice volume coming in. I see definitely more upside in here. Definitely. I see potentially 1260 to 1280, as I told you from the very beginning when it was below 1180. I told you that I was becoming super extra bullish on it, and we gained quite a bit from that level on. So first level of support now is 22.5 to 2020. I mean 1222.5 to 1220, and if we do break that, 1210 to 1208. The line in the sand, 1200, at no cost, under no excuse or circumstance, we must come down below 1200. If we do, that means this whole bull attempt to run, to jumpstart the move, will fail again. But for now, it's looking bullish. Very tight consolidation, even though that we close at the very low of the day. It's nothing. It's a non-eventful day anyway, because the range is even inside the overnight range. So pullbacks are buys until we hold 1200, upside objective 1265 to 1285. Thank you for listening. www.profiletraders.com. Don't be cheap with yourself. You want to educate and learn market profile? Join us. Have a wonderful evening.